Hey guys, we got ourselves a replay review of myself, big smiley face Jamma, supporting Miracle on carry Pudge. Disclaimer, can't just pick carry Pudge in any game, guys, and I want to tell you guys what I learned from Miracle in this game and exactly when you could maybe play some carry Pudge.
Banana slam jam.
So I really liked playing support CM with carry Pudge. I think any support that sets up his hooks with slows and stuns or roots in CM's case is quite a good lane partner for him because he's really strong at being aggressive, but he isn't, he doesn't really want to chill in lane. He wants to consistently force you to fight him. So I like his little wand build here. It lets him spam hook such that we can get multiple attempts at catching them out of position. I think what I've noticed the most about Pudge after playing this game is you like to pick him against offlaners, where if you buy Hood or Vanguard, you won't die when they're level 6. So I really like him against summons offlaners like Visage. I like him against damage over time magic heroes like Venomancer or Sand King because of the way Flesh Heap works. And you can go like one item and these heroes won't single-handedly boot you out of lane. Any hero that can boot you out of lane with their levels, I think is a bad matchup for Pudge. When you're looking to pick him carry. I think what he does in the early game is he's a super slow, kind of useless guy. As you see here, like, he's getting harassed, taking a bunch of damage. He flew himself some tangos, but he's so beefy that he basically tanked a bajillion spells and still lives. And what I'm seeing here is that you see the constant fishing for hooks, and the wand charges are going to allow him to do that. Looks like he constantly wants to battle. Went for Rot level 2. I mean, Miracle even misses hooks people. This is looking like a BSJ Pudge, to be honest with you. But let's keep watching. Goes for the Bracer. I think the reason he went Bracer in this lane specifically is because Soul Assumption's a real bitch. You guys saw there that like 3 Soul Assumptions over the course of time ended up getting him killed. And I'm getting the vibes of Pudge as the same as Bristleback, where these heroes are like really freaking tanky. They make you take damage to kill them. He needs to be against lanes that invest a lot to kill him. So what I mean by this is that notice how he died, but he bought himself some stats, but Visage has no mana, right? So this is a lane where I feel like Pudge and Bristle don't mind dying as long as they can come back to a lane where they're not going to die again, okay? So the way they killed him is not replicable. Think about it that way. Like if they just kill you with like Slardar bashes and stuff where they could kill you again right when you come back, those lanes are bad for Pudge, 100%. You need them to invest to kill you. And I don't even think these early deaths are that bad after experiencing this lane. He's still farming. That's what I really mean, is as long as he's able to farm. This time around, he's super tanky, especially with that 3rd spell. Forcing engagements constantly. They can't really go on him anymore, to be honest. He's super beefy. The slow from CM being really impactful there to help him land the hook. And he's totally content to just trade back and forth. I think as a support, it's good to constantly feed him tangos. I feel like salves will do virtually nothing because 200 HP for Pudge for 100 gold is like not value. Bought himself some raindrops. I've learned the same thing against Visage, by the way. I think this is just a Visage specific thing. I went Bracer raindrops on Bristle after trying to rush Vanguard. It just doesn't work because Soul Assumption is just too much of a bitch. So I actually did this in one of my games, not realizing Miracle did it in my game, so that makes me feel a bit better. BSJ, pat yourself on the back. Thank you, thank you. Glimmers of hope for BSJ's future. So he bought himself the Ring of Health. Looking to always connect to his support. I felt like he was constantly able to help me when I was laning with him, which was really cool. He made me a threat by the way he played the lane. And yeah, it seems like, honestly, like the way we played this, like CM Pudge is just scary, man. He's like totally all in to die. Like I feel like it's totally worth it for Pudge to have these type of engagements. He's got 4 Flesh Heaps at 6 minutes. Like 2 deaths, whatever. Certain carries, you die twice by 6 minutes and you're like, GG, man, we're fucked. I feel like on Pudge, if you're trading kills, it's actually really good because you just have 1200 HP, right? When you come back, it's just like so much to chew through. Hooks the catapult, something you consider doing on Pudge. Really nice to secure the last hit and make sure you don't take tower damage, which makes them even better against like summons pushing heroes, right? Because you're pretty able to secure the early tower pressure. The 1 point in Rot lets him farm a large camp without taking any damage, or the 1 point in Flesh Heap lets him farm without taking damage, which is really nice. Accelerate that farm a little bit. And notice how he doesn't go boots. I feel like in lanes where you have to go boots, Pudge is not ideal. Like I played it against Slardar as like my big one. I really don't want to buy boots on this hero because it doesn't accelerate my farm. This hero needs tankiness and regen, right? The Vanguard, the Hood, etc. Like, the way he's limited is by regen, not move speed. So you want to delay the boots as long as possible. Maybe against, like, Veno, it's not quite as good of a matchup since you do have to buy boots. But, like, I imagine Sand King, for instance, would be a really nice matchup. And this kind of seems to happen a lot when I see people play Pudge. Is a lot of reactions forced. We are constantly getting multiple heroes in our lane. They are always trying to pressure him. And so the question for me is, like, what do you do from here, right, on Pudge? Do you go back for farming? Do you go top now? And I noticed in this game that he just kept battling. Like, he wasn't afraid. He just kept running into enemy heroes and forcing them to kill him over and over again. And maybe this isn't reliable at lower MMRs, but it's something where I think if I were to play Pudge, I would over farm. And like, notice how I might stay bottom and farm like an extra wave or something, but he's like gesturing towards mid, potentially ready to help. And he's actually gonna walk mid. Then he sees it's like, the fight's over. Even then I can see like he was down to go mid, right? So he bought himself some phase boots after the Vanguard. It's probably Hood. It's probably Hood or Vanguard then phase. I think the phase, like I said, move speed doesn't accelerate you, but it does help you like be active and get kills. And it's also nice for survivability at this stage in the game. I feel like the best way to kill Pudge is slowly but surely, and he can't get away from you. So there's a fight going on, and he no hesitation TPs to it. Gets the nice hook on Coddle. Tumbler's Toy value there. Very cool. And this seems like the standard build. Vanguard or Hood, into upgraded boots, into Ags. Okay, so this is the part of the game where I want to show you guys my perspective. So I was like, oh shit, what's my Pudge doing? I'm like, oh shit, what's happening to my Pudge here? 4 heroes are about to go on him, and he's just gonna live. During a Monkey King Wukong's, he's just getting blasted. And that Flesh Heap, guys, is insane. As early game, people just don't have the damage numbers to chew through it. Like, yes, the damage instances, like heroes that would normally kill you over time, it just doesn't work. You have like 8 seconds of invulnerability with this shit. He just got gone on by 4 heroes and lived. So I think Dawnbreaker Pudge from this game was a really sick combo because the Dawnbreaker ulti prevents them from like focusing you down. Guarantees you always have people on your team ready to help. I think generally being near his own towers was something I noticed, like mid, even though he's at the enemy tower, it's still pretty close to his own. This just allows his team to come to his aid. I think as Pudge, I noticed if I'm ever like out here by myself, like a normal carry, like farming out on the opponent's side of the map, they just kind of kill me. And my team can't help me because I'm like too far away from the base. So I'm not telling you guys to like AFK farm per se, but notice how he's like putting himself as impactfully on the map where like he was defending bottom tower, he's like pressuring mid tower, which is close to mid tower, where his teammates are able to help him. I think that's like the biggest thing about Pudge, because you're helpable, but you're useless by yourself, you know? Some carries like have different versions of this dynamic, and it seems like Pudge fits those criteria. So it seems like he's prioritizing his own farm before Ags, but every time a fight happens on his side of the map, he's there. Look at this, like he instant TPs to every single fight. Not getting any Flesh Heap stacks, sadly. Okay. The thing that I really noticed about having Miracle on my team this game, and I think I've mentioned it once and I'll mention it again, is I felt his presence in the game at all times. And what I'm noticing after watching him back is that he's still farming like a normal carry, but he's like no hesitation showing up to any fight on our side of the map. So that seems like a pretty crucial part of Pudge. He didn't go to this fight top. He didn't ever go to the opponent's side of the map, actually. I definitely know I've played Pudge and played this area, and I always feed. So I'm actually learning a lot watching this myself, that he just never leaves his side of the map, but he still contributes a lot to the game on the way to his Ags. I imagine that's going to change once he gets Ags. I feel like he's going to play much more aggressively when he gets Ags, because Ags for Pudge is like a pretty insane power spike. He is going to his first fight on their side of the map, being a bit cautious, it seems. Like, he looks like he's just kind of going to his team, but he's not actually, like, eager to fight. Gets a nice little hook on Bane. Easy kill. Very nice. So this seems like you wouldn't be doing this if your team wasn't being so aggressive. And even though he's like 7-3, this game's not like a stomp, you know? It's 1k net worth lead, you know? I think Pudge, this is actually when he's at his strongest. Like, he gets stronger from here on out. I think his early game's his weakest part of his game. He seems totally fine to die. fishing for hooks. Really nice hook. We had saw Bane walk into the trees earlier. No vac, no cheating there. So despite having a Vanguard instead of Hood, it looks like he's still going Eternal Shroud. The sustain and overall, like, just raw survivability of Eternal Shroud seems too broken for Pudge to pass up. I think in games where you'll die despite having an Eternal Shroud, carry Pudge is not good. So my heavy minus armor strats type thing is probably where he would struggle. But right now, the opponent, other than Monkey King, Visage physical damage pretty negligible because of the Flesh Heap and Vanguard. So other than Monkey King, they're pretty much all magic damage. Notice how once he got the Ags, he went from continuously farming this area. He was farming this before Ags, and now he's been consistently farming this area. And I realized as a support that I'm kind of just supposed to play on the same part of the map as him. I realized it kind of like midway through the game that he just wants people with him at all times. And he's just a freaking raid boss. He literally doesn't give a fuck. Just kind of walking people down, not even losing HP this entire time. And now that he has the Eternal Shroud, looks like he's queuing up the casual plate mail. I think the armor department is definitely an issue for Pudge. But it looks like he's doing like normal carry things now, right? Like where you play top and mid, but like mainly top, pressuring tier 2 tower. So what I'm seeing from this is like now that he's like strong enough to pressure tier 2 top because he's like ultra raid boss with this freaking Ags. Holy shit, they just can't kill him. He's up here now. I think the Ags radius makes you just a lot less like you can't ignore this hero anymore. Dude, he is so tanky. And he finally dies.
How is this possible?
Some idiot CM bot back there trying to help him, but he did go down. That alone should kind of give you an idea of how crazy this hero is. He just took like 15 seconds to kill with 4 heroes, maybe 3 heroes. So let's see what he does. He kind of fed. I'm not gonna lie, that's a little bit of a feat. But the opponent did have to like go to their own side of the map. They're not like getting any crucial objectives off this. He's still #1 net worth. He's been farming like really aggressive for the last like 5 minutes. So it's kind of like a price he paid where like you have to consider he's been super aggressive for 5 minutes. So it's not like he just randomly died on the opponent's side of the map. So he resumes going right back to the same area that he went before. Top lane, pressure, no going bottom. Team smoking towards him this time. Looks like he's totally down to get gone on again. I really like the Dawnbreaker after watching this game. So maybe if you guys are playing some party queue or you have a Dawnbreaker hero on your team already. I mean, Dawnbreaker's just broken in general, but the Dawnbreaker makes this look way more reliable. But yeah, the non-stop up in the face of the opponent, actually forcing a tier 4. I feel like this game snowballed very quickly once he got an Ags. He wasn't really concerned about jeopardizing his game early, like in terms of dying, as long as they were like not random feeds. And then once he got the Ags, he like really prioritized farming aggressively, and the game kind of just snowballed. I feel like this is kind of the story of Pudge, is he hits this critical mass, maybe around like 20 minutes, where you just can't really die unless the enemy focuses you with all of their heroes. So he's got Heart of Taras queued up. Is he gonna disassemble the Vanguard for the Heart? I feel like that's what I would do, because he's running out of slots, right? Another fight going on bottom. Instantly TPs to it. Bane seems a bit annoying because of the sleep, but just walks in and insta dismembers. That damage is pretty insane, to be honest. What talents is he taking? He took the Rot Slow, Spell Lifesteal, and Dismember Duration talents. He is so tanky. I feel like this hero's like a hybrid Bristle Medusa, you know? Like spread damage, tanky, has like the AoE slow aspect of Bristle, but like this timing of Medusa where you have like 2 or 3 items and you just walk it down. It's kind of what I'm getting out of the vibes here. Absolutely no fucking fear. 4,500 HP at 28 minutes. Okay, so they do bring him down. Dawnbreaker's alive in 10 though, so I imagine he might be okay. No, he dies. So it looks like he's not fully aware of his limits either, as literally I don't remember exactly what happened in this game, and I wasn't sure if he was going to die there. So the hero's clearly killable if his team's not behind him. The opponent's also like building focus him items with Spirit Vessel and Bloodthorn. So I think you have to be aware of these type of items that disable you from being a raid boss. His Wind Ranger was pretty sick too, Grandmaster tier. I tipped him there. Okay. So let's see what he does when he comes alive. Game's kind of close now. Let's check out the win percentages real quick. We're just gonna pause, check out the win percentage. So that was like kind of a throw. We went from like 86% to 70%, so it effectively like doubles the enemy chance of winning. Something I've really gotten in the habit of doing is checking win percentages after like seemingly bad events happen. Or good events, you know? Something that I feel like might drastically change the win percentage. Whenever this type of stuff happens as any hero, you kind of have to be like, okay, reset, maybe play for the next item, play for the next objective. So yeah, he went back to like being passive and he's like, okay, I'm dying to this Spirit Vessel. I'm dying to this Bloodthorn. So he buys himself a Lotus Orb. No BKB, just Lotus Orb. Because that does the same thing as a BKB in this game, right? Because he's dying to stuff that's removable by Lotus Orb. I think part of this patch that makes Pudge carry more viable is that he doesn't have to buy BKB. Fishing constantly for hooks. Man, he is so tanky. 5,000 HP.
Killing spree. More than 2 kills.
I'm like curious about the damage numbers, right? Damage from Pudge. Like more than half of our damage is Pudge. Can't be underestimated how much damage he's doing. Level 25, he took the dismember damage and heal. I've experienced this. Like, let's just do the numbers. So dismember does 216. So let's just do the numbers. So 1.62 of his strength. He's got about 220 strength. That's like 350 damage. So he's doing like 570 damage a second, and it's about 4 seconds. So his dismember is effectively like over 2,000 damage. That's if fully channeled, of course. But that's like pretty insane. He's also healing for that, right? So actually gonna get the Ag Synth next with a Kaya when he gets the money, it looks like. E-Blade does make sense. Most of the heroes that have enough damage to kill you at this stage in the game are physical damage, so E-Blade would make sense. So I like that. He fed high ground, recognized why he died, bought a Lotus Orb, and then fought again. That's pretty much the exact thought process that he had this game. Very cool. I like this game as a replay because it felt like he was powerful on my team. It's not just a meme. And it also felt like the game wasn't just a stomp, you know? It wasn't just like, you know, rolled over them in lanes, rolled over them in the mid game, and just won. There was definitely some resistance from the opponent, a little bit of back and forth here and there. And Pudge actually felt impactful. I do think you have to see the opponent off lane first, though. I don't think you can just, like, first pick Pudge or, like, blind pick Pudge. I think he might need to be, like, a 10th pick. Or if you see an opponent off laner already picked, that's, like, a Summons hero or, like, Sand King or something. I think Pudge is really good. So I'd really like to emphasize to you guys that I think having a kill support like Grimstroke or CM, plus having an offlaner that you can't die to at level 6 is like really important for carry Pudge. If you're gonna pick it. Don't just blind pick it. I have had plenty of carry Pudges that like get booted out of lane and are just useless. But I think Miracle kind of showcased what situation Pudge looks good in, and also what to do with it in terms of how he played the map. His own side of the map for the first 20 minutes. Once he got Ags, he started playing up in the top area, the enemy jungle, really pressuring, forcing the opponent to go on him, and then just built continuous survivability items addressing like whatever the opponent had to kill him. So I hope you guys learned something. Miracle carry Pudge. I had the pleasure of supporting him. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Ding, 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 as you hear the train in the background. Bye-bye.